average, this is equivalent to 3.9 million mound of gold ore, or 5.14 mound of gold extracted every year in the Philippines during that period. At today's prices, it would have a market value of $213 million a year. Due to the difficulty of extraction, the ownership structure of mines, the way mining taxes are collected and spent, it's unclear how the average Filipino benefits from the bounty from the mountains, or the $1 trillion worth of mineral resources. Add to this equation the fact that about 75,000 young children work as gold miners across the country, according to the Philippine Labor Department, which made a profile study of child miners from 2014 to 2015. Numbers at a glance. 2,600, the number of years since gold has been used as money. 44,514 kilograms, amount of gold produced in the Philippines between 2017 to 2018. 1 metric ton, mount, equals 35,274 ounces. Gold price, $1,298.15, March 10, 2019, Gulf News Gold rates here. 196.34 mount, estimated gold reserves in the Philippines as of 2017, according to Investing News. 194 mount to 240 mount, estimated tonnage of Philippine gold deposits, according to Philippine Statistics Authority. $9 billion to $11.16 billion, estimated value of remaining Philippines gold deposit at current prices, as of March 8, 2019. 3,150 mount global gold output in 2017, valued at $146.58 billion. PHP $25.54 billion, $485.7 million, taxes from mining 2017. 200,000 number of mining jobs in the country. 4 billion mount, estimated amount of copper reserves in the Philippines, fourth largest in the world. Gold in the Philippines, how much is it really worth? The country sits on billions worth of gold deposits. Highlights: does the Philippines actually sit on mountains of gold? All the gold in the world is worth about $8 trillion. Local communities must deal with mine tailings laden with cyanide, a highly toxic chemical, and a key ingredient in extracting gold and silver. The country reportedly holds the world's second largest gold deposits. Income from mining is finite, consumed by the present generation. Dubai gold is one of the rarest and priciest metals. The Philippines, it's been said, sits on mountains of gold. This epithet needs a closer look. Figures from the Mines and Geosciences Bureau (MGB), a government agency, show that the country produced 20.765 metric tons, amount, of gold in 2018, valued at $866.72 million, PHP 44.8 billion, 3.14 billion dirhams. It was slightly down from the previous year, 2017, when the Asian country produced 22.749 mount of gold, valued at PHP 46.79 billion, $894.64 million, 3.2 billion dirhams, MGB data show. The yellow metal is a hugely important part of the global economy, with total output from the world's gold mines at 3,150 mount in 2017, valued at $146.58 billion. About half of the world's gold production ends up as jewelry, some 10% for industrial use, while 1/3 goes into bars and coins held by monetary authorities and central banks around the world. Gold is traded daily, bought and sold by individuals, funds, and banks. Price is dictated by supply and demand. Currently, all the gold in the world is worth about $8 trillion. Gold-rich provinces. Together with silver, and other base metals like copper, nickel, and chromite, the Philippines mining industry produced PHP 121 billion, about $2.3 billion, in 2018, up from PHP 110.43 billion, $2.11 billion, in 2017. Forbes magazine estimates the Philippines' mineral extraction industry at $1.4 trillion. There are at least 15 Philippine provinces identified as gold-rich. In the last 112 years since the opening of Benguet Mines, the first commercial mining operation in the country's north, the industry has helped the national economy. However, the Philippines has endured the most persistent poverty levels in Southeast Asia. Mineral extraction is a hot-button issue in the Philippines. Mines are traditionally controlled by local oligarchs. Mining operations are guaranteed by laws crafted in Manila. In this so-called trillion-dollar industry, the main beneficiaries are the mining firms and about 200,000 people working for them. At the receiving end are local communities who must deal with mine tailings laden with cyanide, a highly toxic chemical, a key ingredient in extracting gold and silver. The country reportedly holds the world's second largest gold deposits, but its extraction comes with socially explosive concerns, health, safety, environmental hazards, and rights of local, indigenous people who are at the receiving end of deadly effluents. Commercial mines. Foreign companies are active in the 35 commercial-scale mines in the Philippines, a country also blessed with copper, silver, nickel, chromite, iron, manganese, among others. Some of the mining companies had been bedeviled by communist insurgents, now tagged by the military as terrorists, who sometimes disrupt mining operations by resorting to the torching of the miners' heavy equipment. Are the mounds of gold tagged then correct? The Philippine Statistics Authority (PSA) estimates the Asian country has gold reserves at the beginning of 1998 amounting to 101.6 million metric tons mount of gold ore, equivalent to about 240 mount of gold metal. This is the high end of the estimate. Based on March 10, 2019 gold rates, $1,319.20 per ounce, or $45.64 million per mount at the London Metals Exchange, that's equivalent to $10.95 billion. New gold mine, OFW remittances, call centers. In reality, however, the country's biggest gold mine today are the overseas Filipino workers, OFWs. Last year, some 10 million Filipinos working overseas remitted about $32 billion, more than 3 times the total estimated gold deposits in the country. Resident Filipinos also earn another $13 billion to $14 billion a year from business process outsourcing, BPO, or the so-called call centers, as the largely English-speaking what neutral accent country grabs the lion's share of the industry's global revenues. Mine tailings. Mining for gold is a notoriously tough job. The country is currently home to more than a dozen gold miners and exploration companies. Government statistics show that between 1988 and 1994, a period of 7 years, 27.7 million mount of gold ore, containing about 36 metric tons of the metal, was extracted in the Philippines.